Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Franco here, and today, of course you can see by the title of the video, is a review of one of only a few niche that I really enjoy, and I could almost call this my second signature scent. I've got one signature scent really, which is a designer, and if I have another signature scent as niche, this is probably it, and this is Serge Lutens Chergui. They come in an outer puffer. So before we get on, and this is a 50ml by the way, before we get on to any of the notes or what I think of it, and this is recent juice as well by the way, not the old school, this is a reformulation should we say. So before we get on, I'll show you the presentation from when you buy it new. Okay, so let's have a look at the presentation of Chergui, of the recent release juice. So here you have a plain black box with Chergui and Serge Lutens there, and on the bottom outer puffer 50ml, and then you got some ingredients and so on the back, and that's about it really. There's not much else to the box, however I like it. I like the black with the white writing. Okay, so onto the bottle. Now most people know about Serge Lutens fragrances, and when they come in the box, they don't come with a sprayer in. It is a twist-on sprayer. They come with a little cap, so the cap sits on there, and that's good for travelling as well. But then when you've got a protective cap, it doesn't really matter. But they come with that, and of course because of that you could use it as an aftershave splash sort of thing if you so wish. That's how they come shipped, and you get this in a little kind of part of the box. There's a little separate bit on the one side of the box which contains the atomizer, and you just take this off of course and put that in and twist it on. So this is a modern presentation. This is the older presentation. Now this is not Chergui, but this is 5 o'clock OG Chambray. But they all look the same. Now, as you can see, the bottles are the same. Caps are different, and the sticker is different. They all had this with just different names on. So they've gone with this black and white theme with a larger sticker, which I do like, and I like the black cap. I like black and white. Black and white together really is my thing, and that's how I tend to dress as well. I do dress mainly in black with some white accents and trainers and all that sort of stuff, so it suits me down to the ground. So very elegant. This is the 50ml. Now juice, sort of like a rosy amber kind of colour. Of course you've got Serge Lutens Chergui there. You got a bit of information on the bottom, tells you TDP etc. As I said, it's actually a black sprayer as well, black cap, quite elegant looking these bottles. They do now come in 100ml. I recently bought this 50ml because I wanted to try this out again in its recent formulation, which is what this is. I have had the last bottle I had was the older formulation, and that was quite strong, and the juice was a little darker, a little thicker looking, but we'll get into that in the review. So that's the presentation for Serge Lutens Chergui. Okay, so now you've had a look at the bottle and the box. The juice has changed slightly. It used to be a bit of a darker brownish colour, a little bit that same sort of rosy tint, but it was a darker brown. So it has been reformulated for sure. So in this one, as I said, I used to have a 50ml of the original formulation, and so we're going with the modern one you can pick up right now. If you want a discount, All Beauty have this for The 50 mils around 60 something, but they've got a good price for the 100 mils. So if you really like Chergui but you haven't got any collection and you're thinking about buying it, go for the 100 mils, because on All Beauty here in the UK, on their website, their 100 mils I think was £101, where retail it's I think it's 140, 150. So that's you know, 40 or 50 pounds off retail. And of course, if you use my link down below, you get 10% off as well, and that would help me, because then if you do that, they send me a voucher with 10% off as well for my next purchase. So we're all winners in that sense. But yes, this is the modern Juice, and I've worn it a few times. Didn't look it there, but this was really right up to the cap when I had this one. So excuse me, this one, like I said, if I could have a signature scent which was niche, it would be this, and in fact it probably is this. Now I've got it back, and I am going to purchase the 100 mils, because I went with the 50 mils first to see if its formulation had changed that much that I didn't like it. But I can say that it hasn't changed that much, so I will be purchasing another 100 mils probably within the next month or two, because this will be worn throughout winter quite severely. Certainly on my days off work, I'll be wearing this a lot. So the main difference, if you've been around for a while watching YouTube and into fragrances, most people will know what this smells like. A lot of people into fragrances has probably had at least a sample of this and know what it smells like. So I'll quickly say that off the top, when you first spray it, it doesn't come across as rich and thick and dense as the original. But the strange thing is that after about 30 to 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, on my skin at least, when it's settled to the skin and it's dried, and it starts then mixing with your chemistry and your body heat, once it hits that body heat, it's dried down and it's mixing with your body heat and it starts pushing up, I can't smell the difference between the old one and the new one. It's different on the top. It doesn't smell as rich, doesn't smell as thick. As I said, you know, you can definitely tell on when you first spray it on, it's not as thick and rich as the original. But give it a chance, let it dry down, say at least 30 minutes, and then you'll get whiffs of it as you're walking around and you think, oh yeah, that's Chergui. So the only really difference is on the top, where you'll see a bit of difference. It's not as it's not as cloyed, if you will, because it was strong stuff back then. So that's the only real difference between the two. It does smell the same once it's on skin for a little bit. So what do I get from the notes? Yes, tobacco leaf, a little bit of honey. I don't really get honey, but there is a subtle sweetness. Amber for sure, it is an amber based scent. The hay, yes, I get hay. Incense, there's a slight sort of incensey feel to this, but not much, it is there. Sandalwood, again, there's a backbone of like a smooth woody tone, but so I don't get much iris. I do get a bit of musk, and I don't get any rose. So those are the things that I get and don't get in this fragrance. Now, like I said, for me, it smells a bit linear, this one, which I like. When I do like a formulation, if it's the way it smells when you spray it is the same, almost the same at the end. But when you really like the way it smells, then why would you want it to change? Yeah, so it does come across a little linear. So when you spray it, as soon as that 30-minute dry down, it doesn't really change throughout its life. It just obviously gets weaker and weaker as the hours go on, as all fragrances do. And for me, the main notes in here are the hay, tobacco. Oh, it's so well blended. Even this stuff, the quality of the ingredients is right up there. You can tell they use a lot of natural ingredients. Even though it's been sold to another company, it's probably swapped some natural ingredients for synthetics, but you can tell there's still a lot of natural ingredients in this. The quality is really good for the money, especially when you get it from discounters. Like I mentioned earlier, I mean, £101 for 100 mils of something this good is a bargain, in my opinion. So again, off the notes, it's just a mix of, for me, like a dry tobacco. There's a slight overall sweetness, but it's not really a sweet fragrance. Comes off a little more dry out of a fragrance for me, but there is a subtle sweetness in there. The amber is one of the dominants with the tobacco and the hay. So for me, it's a dry tobacco with a resinous amber. The hay note is again a little dry, and there is a musky backbone to this. For me, it's more like a clean musk, which mixes really well with these sort of dry resinous things. It sort of just stops them being so dry and resinous. It sort of, I don't know, it sort of tones that sort of thing down a little bit, and then just a hint of like a smoky incense. Now I don't know what makes this one, or the notes that make this one a little powdery. It does come off a little powdery once it dries down, and I absolutely love powdery scents. Probably why I love this one so much, but because it's got a overwash of a powderiness with this the dry notes and the subtle sweetness in here. Quite complex in its scent. I really do enjoy it. So, you know, if you really don't like powdery scents, even if it's just a little sprinkle of a powder, if that still gets on your nerves, then I wouldn't go anywhere near. It is a powdery, dry tobacco amber in its core, with this slightly woody fresh hay note mixing through all that. For me, it's a masterpiece. Okay, this is a 10 out of 10, absolute masterpiece. I've always thought I think it was actually my first ever niche that I tried. Then I went into Virgin Island water and all the manner of things. If you ever saw my first couple of years, nowadays I'm more pretty much sort of 80% designer. Back then I was a good 50-50. I had 50% of my collection was niche, and the rest obviously designer or indie or whatever. But this was my first niche fragrance, and to be honest, it could be my only niche fragrance because I really enjoy it that much. I love ambery scents anyway, and this has got a fair bit of amber in it. You know what, I'm going to have this as my scent of the day again today. It was yesterday, and I'm going to have it again today. So, 2 sprays down the top, one either side, one back of the head, and because I've got short sleeves on, that will do. That will be my scent of the day for Chergui. Yeah, like I said, in the air it's definitely lighter than it used to be when you first spray it, but it's still Chergui, it's still there. There's almost like a slight freshness on the top. Oh man, you do get a bit more of the incense, like a resinous incense, not like it's been lit and it's smoky. It's more like a resinous incense on there when you first spray it. There's definitely something resinous there, and it's not the amber. It's definitely like a resinous incense. If you ever held incense in its clumps before it's lit or melted onto paper or whatever they do, if you ever smelled that, that's the kind of scent you get when you first spray this. And then once it calms down, everything else starts coming through. All the tobacco starts coming through, and the ambers, and then mixing with the incense resin. But the resin then comes down a little bit and takes a step back. But it's a little fresher, let's say, when than the old juice. The old juice used to be bam in your face. There you go. That's as strong as it is. It's in straight away, and that's how it stays for some time. This one just comes a little fresher, and then it gets to that other stage. About 30 to 40 minutes. So on my skin, just above average in its projection. I think it used to be almost beastly, but back then it was maybe a little too much for me. I did enjoy it, but some days if I put one extra spray on more than that I really should have, it come across a little cloying. So this juice for me actually is the better of the two. You go with a slightly fresher opening, but it dries down to where I liked it once it had been on a few hours, and it toned down a little bit. That's how this stays for from 30 minutes onwards, and that's where I enjoy it, you know. And it's just slightly above average in its projection, which is what excuse me. I'm ingesting Serge Lutens Chergui right now. That's where I like it. Yeah, I like a scent that I can smell strongly throughout the day. I don't really care if anybody else can. So an average projection is fine with me in fragrances, as long as I can smell it and I enjoy it. I don't care if it projects any further than that. I don't care if anybody else smells it. If it's in my little bubble and I can smell it, I'm fine with that. This is a little bit more than that. And the longevity being able to offer, again, on my skin is fantastic. It lasts me at least a 12-hour day before it starts getting so subtle that I can't smell it myself. So yeah, the reformulation, yes, it isn't quite as rich and thick and rich, and some of the notes in here are not quite as top quality as there was, but they're still up there, if you know what I mean. So there's obviously some notes in here that was maybe very good quality naturals, and now they're using just very good quality aroma chemicals or synthetics as they call them, but it still smells really good. I wouldn't be too concerned about trying to hunt down the original juice. This is still good. You just get a slightly fresher top, but once it dries down it's still the same. It's the same as it was, so I wouldn't worry too much about for reformulation. Just get a nice big 100ml bottle for my 10% discount, and you'll be well away. You know, I mean, £101 for 100ml with the 10% discount. It's like paying for a Chanel or a brand new Chanel or a Dior, you know, and you're getting this quality. Can't moan at that. I would say this is more for a slightly more mature person. I would say at least 25 and up, I would say, unless you come across really young. If you're young but you come across, should we say, sophisticated, you walk straight into a job where you're in a suit and you're quite mature for your age in the way that you act, then you could get away with it. But this is a good 25 plus in my opinion. I think you could wear this all year round. It's not so cloying like it used to be that I don't think you could wear it. I do think you could wear it on a summer night, as long as you go steady on the sprays, 2 sprays, I think it would work fine. And it's still got enough heft that you could wear it in the winter. I wouldn't say you'd be able to smell it if you went outside and below freezing in the snow. It would probably not really work that well. But if you're indoors in the winter, I don't see it be any issue. And I think, like most people, I would say autumn is probably its best. You know, it's got that those leaves. It's got a leafy smell to it. You know, like an autumn smell. It just smells of autumn to me. But you could use this. I would say you could use it all year round. But as a recommendation, I would say start wearing it in the autumn and you'd appreciate it. And then maybe wear it throughout the winter as well. I wouldn't when to wear it, maybe more formal situations, but I wear this sitting at home in a t-shirt and just bask in it and enjoy it. So if you just enjoy fragrances, wear it whenever you want, but as a recommendation, I would say when you're semi-formal or above. So semi-formal, formal is how it comes across. but wear it as you damn please and enjoy your fragrances while you got them. So overall, I think it's a beautiful scent. It's still pretty decent considering it's been reformulated. I love powdery scents, so that's done. It's not so dark and rich that I'm not keen on super dark and rich fragrances. This is still, it's got some sort of fresh and enjoyable vibe for me. It's not too dark. There's no real dark notes in here that really pull it down. This has still got a nice vibe to it. I love it, but again, you gotta like a powdery style fragrance. But this one is very unique if you've not tried it. So 10 out of 10 for me. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Chergui. I've probably nattered too much now, but you know, when you love something, you gotta talk about it. So leave a comment below if you've tried recent Serge Lutens Chergui. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And do you prefer the original? For me, yeah, the original was a bit richer, but it's not so much of a difference that I'm going to complain about the reformulation. I'll just go and buy this. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it as always. I'll answer your comments as soon as I can, or if I read them, I'll give you a thumbs up or a heart or whatever that'll be. If you give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it, and subscribe if you haven't already. So thank you, and I'll see you again soon on the next video.